Alright, in this video I'm going to talk about what actually makes a person dangerous. What makes a person dangerous? One of the problems I see is that there are so many people talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai and MMA and all this other crap, right? Karate, which I talk about. And when I say crap, I don't mean that that stuff is crap. I mean the things that people say is absolute complete nonsense, okay? So, I have seen wanton violence. I have seen extreme violence. Extreme violence, okay? And some of this violence that I have seen is violence that I've seen in particular situations, okay? Particular situations. And the narrative, the people who speak most about the martial arts on social media know the least about it. And I will be talking about the narrative. In the next video, I will tell you what the problem is with social media, the martial arts scene on social media. And it happens to be those people who dominate the discussion. The people who dominate the discussion on social media are the biggest problem when you talk about authentic martial arts. So, most people don't understand what it takes to be dangerous, why certain people are dangerous and why certain people are not. And it has nothing whatsoever to do with your martial art. It doesn't, okay? And if you don't know these things, right, then you are really playing Russian roulette with your life, okay? So, I have seen wanton violence. I have seen violence, not violence. I'm sure there's more graphic violence in some parts of Africa, in some parts of Afghanistan, some parts of Ireland, in the hills, some parts of China. I understand that there is more violence. There is violence where, or there is a higher degree of violence, or a more sadistic kind of violence, if you will, in places where there may not be as much policing or whatever, right, or laws. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes down to America, when it comes down to the West, I have been privy to some very, very serious acts of violence. Some acts of violence that turn my stomach to even think about them. Okay? Now, one reason why I have seen violence is because I've been in certain places. And this will be a shock to you, right? But I've been in certain places. Okay? And in the next video, I will actually talk about some of the places I've been, some of the things I've been involved in, all right, to let you people know why over a period of 8 years I have come out and lashed out at people who have insulted me, right, and said things to me on the internet. The kind of violence I have seen has helped me to understand what it takes to make someone dangerous and why certain people are dangerous. The two things that makes someone dangerous, or the one skill, but there's two involved, that makes someone dangerous, right, and renders your martial art and my martial art totally useless if a person can do this, is this: raising your level of violence higher and faster than the individual in front of you. Okay? That is the skill. That's what makes someone dangerous. Raising your level of violence higher and faster than the person in front of you. So what do I mean by that? I don't care what kind of belt that person has. I don't care if you got your black belt from Rickson Gracie. I don't care if you beat Floyd Mayweather in sparring. I don't care what it is that you do, right? You can be an MMA champion. I don't care what it is that you do. If you were standing in front of someone, okay, and they throw hot coffee in your face, okay, while you're talking, then your martial art does not come into play. If you were talking to someone or you're arguing with someone, I don't care who you've trained with, I don't care what you do, and someone takes something like this, a pen, and jams it into your cheekbone. It could be into your cheekbone. It doesn't have to be into your eye. You understand? It can be into your cheekbone, anywhere on your face, all right? But your martial art will not come into play. And this is what many of you people who write the narrative on social media when it comes to the martial arts, this is what many of you people don't get. So you come into my forums, and you have done this for 8 years. You come into my forums and you say, well, man, this and man that, and do this and do that, right? And I will tell you, and it sounds like I'm imitating people. The people I'm imitating are the biggest problem of social media when it comes to the martial arts. And in the next video, I will tell you those people who write the narrative, right, and actually destroy any real conversation on real martial arts. But those particular individuals don't have a clue. It's not about your black belt in whatever. It is not about your grappling. It is not about your MMA. What makes a person dangerous is if they can raise their level of violence higher and faster than the person in front of them. Okay? If they can go from 0 to 60 with extreme maliceness, okay, with extreme maliceness, with extreme malice, if they can do that, okay, at the right time and catch you, your martial art doesn't mean shit. And I want you to understand this. Most people are not telling you that on YouTube. It is raising your level of violence higher and faster, going from 0 to 60 and trying to put someone completely out quickly, fast, without them seeing it coming is what makes someone dangerous. It has nothing to do with your martial art. None. I have seen people, I have been places, I have been in situations that most of you people on YouTube who talk a lot about the martial arts, people like Joe Rogan, people you people admire, right? People like Eddie Bravo would not last 5 minutes in the average setting I have been in my life, in my youth. None. Not one bit. Because their mentality is sport. And I'm telling you, most of your mentality, most of you watching this video, your mentality is sport. And it is a good thing that you are not in many situations where your life really depends on you really being realistic with what life is really all about. Raising your level of violence faster and higher than an individual in front of you is what makes someone dangerous. That is what does it. Has nothing to do with your martial arts. If I take this hot cup of tea and I throw this in your face, you can have a 7th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You can have a 7th degree black belt in karate. You could have trained in Muay Thai however long you wanted to train. You could be an MMA champion. If I threw this hot cup of tea in your face, then trust and believe your martial art will not come into play. That's what violence is about. That's what self-defense is about. Okay? Those are the skills, not your martial art. Raise your level of violence faster and higher before a person can defend it. That's it. Extreme malice. Attack with extreme malice. That's what you see in prisons. That's what you see in the quickest street fights. That's what you see in murders. That's what you see. That's what you see. You don't see chasing an armbar. You don't see jumping up off a cage and then throwing a kick. You don't see any of that. Okay? That's what makes you dangerous. I've said it 6 times, and I'll say it again because a lot of you idiots don't get it. Right? It has not a damn thing to do with your martial art. It's raising your level of violence faster and higher than the person in front of you and moving quickly, unannounced, with extreme malice. My name is Saif Carmen, the walking encyclopedia of all social media of martial arts. See you next video.